Muted.
How about now?
Old geezers at work.
Geezers at work. Let's do this again. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the show. Oh, you know it. Good morning, Mr. Sadie. Good morning, Lag. I got to remember to look for the red light because on my mic is a red light, and if it's on, it means I'm muted.
Walk toward the light. It's your time.
Exactly. I hope everybody's having a good morning. It's pretty weather here today, like 65 degrees and sunny. I think it's supposed to be in the 80s by the end of the week, which means we'll probably have Arizona weather this year, only with 500% humidity.
Hmm. In a cup, Lag.
Black. I normally drink black coffee. When I'm on the cruise ship and restaurants, I drink cream and sugar because the stuff is probably so strong. I mean, it's usually so strong. Good morning, Ping. There is a link up at the top of the chat for anybody who wants to join, but there it is again. No, I can't do espresso. If I drank espresso, like I would not sleep for a week. So, what's going on with you today, Todd?
Well, I got to ship out 9 orders. I had a good day of sales yesterday.
Good.
And I'm going to run up to the auction house and pick up my winnings from the weekend. And head home. Maybe do some listing. Yep, that's about it.
Well, that sounds like a busy day.
Gonna miss Don and Mary's show, but oh well, they'll get over it.
Well, you know, that's not what I'm looking for. Sometimes you have to do that. Good morning, Craig. Did I say good morning, Ping? Sorry.
Crag.
I'm just kind of running behind.
There you go, Ping.
Um,
Mike.
what do you say?
Oh my god. Likes his coffee like his women.
Okay, let's just not go there.
Uh, Bitter, huh?
Yeah, that's good. Sorry, that just struck me extremely funny. Roberta, Mike, Mike, the crazy card says he likes his coffee like his wife, or like his women, and and Todd said bitter. Oh, that killed me.
That's what Mike wrote.
That sounds like Mike.
Uh,
Good morning, I see you.
yeah.
And
Thank
thank
you.
you, Johnny.
Intensive care unit, emergency room, registered nurse. Sweet. I figured that out all by myself.
That's because you're smart. You're a teacher. You have all those degrees. And she's a glutton for punishment if she deals with that all night and then she comes in the show. Good morning, Bumcrack. Good morning, Janice.
Janice, read from Johnny. Johnny sent us over here.
Thank you, Johnny. So did you recuperate from all your moving over the weekend?
Yeah, pretty much. And that was a workout. For about 4 hours Sunday, we were packing and loading, helping the boy move. Plus the drive to and from, so yeah, it was about an 8 hour excursion in pain.
Okay, I know I asked you before. This is the married son or the single
Yep.
son? The married son. They moving for job opportunities? Good morning, Jennifer.
Yeah, I guess. They, the house they're moving to is a couple $100 less a month, and the job pays a little bit more, so they think they'll do better. And I'm like, that doesn't sound just like a whole ton of difference. And you got the stress and work of moving for, how long does it take to box up a house, move it, and unbox it at the new place? A long time. My real name is Dave.
Okay, Dave. We'll go with that instead of lag. I thought it was Bernice, but we'll go with Dave. Um, isn't your other son living? Wasn't your other son living with him? Did they pack him up and send him on his way too?
Scan to Freedom, yeah. I didn't show up.
That would have been fun to. That would have been fun
I looked at
to attend.
some of the pictures of the rowdy people that were there, and I'm sitting here thinking they probably would have gotten me in trouble.
Yeah. Well, in the week before that, we spent enough money. I didn't need to spend any more. Todd was a big help helping you move, Dave. Lord have mercy. It's just too early in the morning for this. And how Ping gets up at 6 o'clock in the morning, which we appreciate you coming in and so early in the morning, but goodness gracious. 9 o'clock here is 6 o'clock in the morning there. That is just, I'm not worthy. Because I don't know whether I can do it or not, to be honest with you.
Well, depends on what time you go to bed. If you go to bed at 8, you can get up at 6, no problem.
Well, I very rarely go to bed at 8. Only if I'm not feeling well. But then again, she's young. We have a lot of young folk in our audience, so you know they can do that. I automatically wake up around 5:30, no alarm. I go to bed around 1 a.m. Wow.
Good grief. That's not much sleep.
Well, that's the reason she looks so young. She's not sleeping her life away. You know, she's banking those hours. So.
She's like me. It's kind of like, I like life. So I don't want to just lay in bed and miss a bunch of it, you know. There's always another video to watch or another something to get listed on eBay or another. Every day's an adventure.
Okay, let me see if since you had one of my favorite Christmas shows is the musical Scrooge. And there is a song in it called I Like Life. Life likes me.
Yeah.
And now that's stuck in my head. Thank you very much, Todd.
Well, it's true. Being retired is great. I mean, I just do what I want when I want. I do have to do some eBay to pay for the extras, but other than that, man, I'm just every day's a new adventure. Just something. See what the day brings. You know, some days in teaching or working at the Home Depot is like, I don't think I want to go work today.
Oh, I just got a message from your wife.
Uh-huh.
Her latest special.
Yeah. So,
Let's
but
see.
yeah, life's more exciting when you have nothing to do. It's great.
Naps are good.
Oh yeah, Ping takes a daily nap too, so that'll make up a lot of the difference. I've been awake since February 2023. Well, there you go.
I hate that for you, Texas, because
That's not going to be cheap.
yeah, just saying AC is not going to be cheap, and it's a Toyota, so that help. But it's best to go ahead and get it done now before it gets to 110 degrees out in Texas. If you got to do it. It seemed like Scott was constantly repairing something on one of his vehicles.
Well, if you drive used vehicles 150,000 miles a year, you're going to have that.
Yeah. Yeah. Back when he was really burning them up when he was driving all over the country, sourcing stuff.
We have got to get more video out of him on the road. Everything he does is interesting, so.
Yeah.
He talks about those people that were helping him fix his car in Bogalusa, Louisiana. That would have been a great video, you know.
Yeah, that would have been. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm driving my '08 Outlook, and it's knock on wood. It's really not giving any problems with 145,000 miles on it. Lag, you're in the third floor of the basement, so you're in the sub basement of the sub basement of the basement.
I imagine, God, what was that movie that had It had an empty ballistic missile silo, and somebody had turned it into an evil underground of criminals or something. I don't know. Anyway, I imagine Lag's basement is like an empty nuclear
It
ballistic missile
probably is.
silo.
That's what it is. His mom just built her house over an abandoned nuclear missile silo.
So they're like 12 stories tall, you know. Except your basement's probably not round like that.
Yeah. There is a YouTube video. There's several YouTube videos, but this one video is about where a guy bought a missile silo.
Really?
Yeah, and he's converting it into a his is converting it into a house. There's other ones where they're converting them into rich people's fallout shelters. If crap hits the fan, that's where they'll all go to. It's got a runway for their planes, and but the guy that's doing it himself, and he's not building anything really elaborate. Um, he was showing the blast door, like when if the rockets were to have to launch, all the fire from the rocket goes down a tunnel and
You don't
out.
have videos on your channel.
Anyway, that blast door is like 5 feet thick. He's probably got an escalator, Texas. It used to be a shelter. Years ago, out on one of, I think it was Johns Island, suburb of Charleston, South Carolina. There was
No, you don't.
a
Here,
shelter.
let's go to channel.
Speaking of which, if anybody wants to, in my description, there's a list of people that regularly show up for my show. I've been listing all their channels in the description.
Oh,
If
you do
you
have videos. Oh my
if you
God.
don't want it on there, let me know. And if your name is not on there and you would like to be added to the list, throw a a comment with it in it, and I'll add it to it. And all it'll cost you is a simple like. That's all it'll cost you. He does have videos.
Uh, Weird looking videos. This is your basement? There it is. It's a nuclear silo. Oh my God.
He's just doing that. I still think he's in the witness protection program.
Dang, it looks like something out of a video game. I think he's just taking clips from video games and putting them in
I'm sure.
on his channel. He's crazy like that. But we kind of like Lag. He's a fun trooper. He keeps things lively.
Yeah, he's always got something funny to say. Sorry, I gotta fix my cuff. Or whatever you want to call it.
Your $6 million arm is about
Yeah.
to fall off.
My joints have been just bothering me lately, and Roberto ordered me. This is this is the one for my elbow, and it doesn't have any like metal in it or plastic or anything like that. It's just a cuff, and it just gives support to your arm, to your joint, and it really does. It's probably all psychological, but it does make it feel better. And I've got them on my knees too. They're supposed to have copper in them, so I guess I need to stay away from any kind of light metal detectors.
Yeah, I've always heard copper's good for achy joints.
So,
I remember Granny used to wear one back in the 60s because of her rheumatiz. Remember Granny on
Beverly
Beverly
Hillbillies?
Hillbillies? She always had a rheumatiz medicine.
Yeah. Yeah, but it wasn't that in a jug?
Yeah, it's straight up mash whiskey, but
Yeah. If you drank enough of that, you didn't care about your joints.
bearded picker, bearded picker, bearded picker. Yeah, we were talking about you. You need to do more video, bud. You got so many adventures you could be filming.
You you're not on the road today, are you? It's Tuesday. Monday's the day you go do your auction crap. Anyway, that's no excuse.
He takes his stuff to the auction on Monday, I think.
Okay, that's what I thought. Today's Tuesday, correct?
But
Yep.
I thought he would be too tired to do it on Monday because he'd just gotten back from Nashville.
Yeah, and you know he was burning candles at both ends. I think Joni was Joni going with him?
No, I don't think she did. She can't. She has trouble with her back, is it?
Yeah, her back.
Joints and back and stuff. So,
I know that for long distance travel she flies, but I didn't know since that was kind of a short trip whether she could do those or not. Yeah, lag. He does. He just because and I like Dusty's videos because you could just turn them on in the background and let them run for 3 hours. Uh, where he'd make compilations of just talking while he's running around
yeah,
during
when
the
he and
day.
his wife got wound up ranting, those were the best.
Yeah, Joni was in Nashville. Okay, good.
Oh, cool.
So that means that she's not embarrassed to be seen with him. Yeah, they get wound up about something, and I miss them. They were a lot of fun. Oh, speaking of the Prophet of Doom, good morning.
I don't know why this computer erased my name on there. When I clicked the little when I clicked on it, that was one of the choices. I'm like, okay, I'll be the prophet of doom.
Um,
That was kind of one of your monikers when you were doing your political years.
Uh,
so how was the meetup?
had a lot
Yeah.
of fun. Bunch of cool people. So I met the baby I created.
Excuse me.
So, Philly Flipper really is your son, huh?
He actually rode in the van to the yard sale. We had fun. So no, so Chris and baby Chris. Remember Chris came on my live show years ago, and that's the first time he met his lovely, who she was introduced to Chris, uh, and now they have baby Chris. So
Baby
therefore,
Chris.
they only met because I turned the camera on. Therefore, I had to. I told the young one, I'm like, Charlie, I should be your godfather because I'm the reason you exist.
And
He
how old
just
is he?
7 months. He just looked at me like I was crazy.
Yeah, he's like Santa Claus. Where's your hat?
Yeah. And then we found out, y'all think Jacob was all nice and everything, but we found out from his brother David that Jacob was really mean.
um, real estate, Jacob.
Yeah. and he's also fat, according to David.
Well, he don't look it in the deck. He must be using a filter on his camera then.
David is very thin, so when you put David against him, he does look a little chubby. Got to hit the gym more and quit all them 8 shots of whatever the hell you put in a coffee. Yeah.
Sugar or is it
He gets 8
espresso?
shots. He gets 8 shots of espresso on a coffee.
Damn. 8 shots of espresso. I would not sleep for a week. I would have 5 million listings up. This house would be spotless from bottom to top.
Yeah, but so I enjoyed. I met Chris for a lunch at one time in Austin when we were at the Green Room meetup, but I'd never met Kimmy, so that was it was really cool to talk to them for a while in person. And I hung out with Tracy because I couldn't do that here in town. It's not like he'll be at dinner tonight. And then I met somebody else from here in town. I didn't even know they existed. And they've got a YouTube channel. But when I when I see her again, I will videotape, because she said that she sells a lot of plush from the thrift store that Tracy and I are going to this afternoon. And they have this bin, right? It's like made out of 4x4s or 2x4s, and it's all the way to the ceiling. And they've got these ropes. You know how you've seen them where they hold balls and stuff in, it holds the plush in. She says she climbs in there and gets the plush out. And if I ever find somebody inside the plush bin, oh my God, it's on.
So I take it you want me crawling into the plush bin to...
Yeah, because that's what I want to do. All them dirty, nasty, used plush that's had all kinds of... They're telling what kids and babies are...
Wallowed on them and...
slobbered on them, and that looks like chocolate. Oh, wait a minute. It don't smell like chocolate. Yeah, I'm out. I am out. But yeah, it was a nice time. Monels is a pretty cool restaurant. So it's an old house, and so what they do is they have tables of 13 and 17.
Uh-huh.
So they, the next as you show up, and the table when the table they put 13, they sit 13 at a time, or 17, so that you're sitting at it's table everything goes to the left, but you're at a table with people you come with and a bunch of people you don't know, so you end up they got a list of rules, and I love the rules, because rule number 1 as you come in the door is no cell phones on the table, like it used to be when you actually would carry on a conversation around the dinner table or lunch table or whatever, and around the table, and that's a lost art. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
They need to have, they got Throwback Thursdays. They need to have, get out the damn house on Tuesday, thing. Go meet with your friends instead of talking on the telephone all night or messaging and that kind of stuff.
And let's see, what else do we do? I'd never had Hattie B's hot chicken, and I just got the medium, and that was a little spicy. One of the other guys got there's I forget the flavors. It's hot. There's a bunch of flavors, but the last 2 flavors are enthusiast levels, and they are. Yeah, he said that it was insanely hot, but I was not.
Like you just got back from Nashville?
Yeah, the 2 hottest levels are called Damn Hot and Shut the Cluck Up.
Okay.
Yes.
I used to could eat really hot food, but nowadays, nah, not so much. So did you learn anything from this experience, or were you just socializing?
I did learn something.
What'd you learn?
I learned that whenever you go to all the trouble to clean the van, put the seats in, and make accommodations, and then in order for your storage, you put the big Yakima 16 on the top of the van.
Uh-huh.
I learned that if you want to use the Yakima, you've got to take the fucking key.
Jesus.
Because without the key, it's worthless. It's according to Joni, the only thing without the key is it turns the Toyota into a shark van because now we got a big shark van. That's all it's good for.
Did she give you hell for not having that key?
Not much.
Oh gosh. I'd have made fun of you. Well,
Oh, Lord.
you were working on making the van more aerodynamic, weren't you?
Sure. So I immediately came home and ordered 2 more keys. There's a code on the key that tells you, and they're $3.50. Why I don't have 11 or 12 of them, I don't know. But so I ordered one for my because I have 2 key rings for some reason. Like both, they have identical keys or whatever. It's just whichever one I go. One of them has a few extra. One of them has like a keys that sticks out, so I don't ever grab that one, and that's
Right.
the one that has on it. But yes, I ordered an extra to tape inside the glove box, so that I'll never be without it again.
So you just drove all over creation with nothing in your Yakima.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
No, there was something in there.
Air.
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 Yeah.
It was full of air. All the hot air that's rising off of me went right into it.
So was it just you and Joni?
Yeah, Saturday at the yard sales, me, Joni, Paul, and Jennifer were with, and we all. I mean, it's amazing, Paul is big into. If you don't, I don't know if you watch Philip Flip or not, but he's big into clothing and a lot of those things he sells on Whatnot, pretty much exclusively. Now he does some eBay, but not much anymore. And I don't look at clothing at all, and there's a lot of things he's like, I'd buy that if I didn't have to fly home, so I bought most of that. But the one good thing I found was I didn't know Department 56 even made Halloween, but don't pass on that. That's some expensive stuff. If I only had some of it right here.
Did you buy some? I will take that as a yes, since he got out of his chair. He's getting out of his chair.
There's a whole table of it. So that's Halloween. What's his name? That's somebody on a. He's he's a dead dude trying to take a Harley or whatever.
Yeah, he's flames. I know who you're talking about.
So you can see it's all sealed. This guy was a collector. He never opened it. Let me see what this one's worth.
Come on, Lag. What's the name of that movie?
Walking Dead.
No, it's not the Grim Reaper. When he rides his motorcycle, he becomes flames.
Oh, Ghost Rider. Ghost Rider. That's Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, Ghost Rider.
I love that movie.
And you couldn't remember the name of it. I'm assuming that's who that's supposed to be.
So there's nobody's even got that one on Amazon. So then we're gonna I paid $3, so now we're gonna go to the other phone and look up Keepa. Oh, this is 2 phones is a bitch. I gotta put Keep on that phone.
Scott in his phones reminds me of Fred Sanford and his son, all of his glasses. He'd have to go over to his desk and he'd start pulling out glasses till he found the right pair.
So that one, current and averages. For new on Amazon, Amazon's price, their highest was $25. The highest buy box on this one was $95. You see what I paid for it? $3.
Dang.
So so I'll probably put it up for $74.95 and let it go. See what happens. I'm probably going to get high price alerted And if that's the case, let's see what it sells for on eBay.
Thanks, Major Win.
Did I say to Major Win you're going live today?
I was about to ask him, are you live right now, or are you going to live right after I end?
He was going to go live at this time.
Yeah.
That was yesterday, but I don't know if he changed it because I told
Yeah,
him, hey,
Okay.
we're kind of doing a show.
So moving forward, he's going there. Okay, cool. So that means that you can pop in and visit with us.
So that's how hard these are to find. There's none on eBay and there's none on Amazon. Mummy Mize in my ride. Let's type it in. Let's not.
Well, you must have had a short show, Major.
He did. There's the link if you have time and you want to pop in for a few minutes.
They're too perky for us. We're old.
Are they?
We're old and fucking grumpy.
So did you get any other ones besides that one?
Only one up there. There it sits. Somebody got 75 plus shipping, so 80 is. I got 17 of these.
Wow.
I didn't even spend $100. The one big house is the last one sold for 200. I don't know if I can get it out or not. I had to buy a tub to put them in. I bought so many of them. There's that one.
Because you couldn't get them. Why didn't you put them in on that thing on top of your car? Sorry. I'm gonna have to go look.
Hey, we have a new audience. Let's welcome to YouTube censors. You Biden loving, sorry, communist pieces of shit. There you go. Let's go.
Okay.
Trump won 2020. You stole the election, you bastards.
There you go.
You tried to kill the Republic with a shot. Come on.
Dang.
And this says she sold 2 pieces of that Department 56 for almost $400 for both of them.
Woo.
Yeah, there's a big one in that box. The box is full of. I bought a tub for $5 at the guy's yard sale to put all that stuff in.
Were they real big, Anissa?
Yeah, I got the theater in this, I think it's worth 200. Like, if you're going to comment in the chat, like, could you at least learn the difference between right and right?
Yeah, Major. It's just a continuation. Then when you move over to Scott's show, then it goes off the rails. Only he tries to be Dr. Scott.
Dr. Scott.
I've been good for the last like 6 or 8 months.
Yeah, you have been. Did you get rode up or something? Really, very big.
All that stuff doesn't matter. There's nothing you can do about it. You don't waste your time worrying about stuff you can't control. You just got to be smart enough to figure out to know when they're lying to you, which is most of the time. And anything that the government tells you, you believe the opposite, and then you're in pretty much good shape. I was watching a guy last night who's a doctor. Has been a doctor, and was talking about the, all the, whatever they are, all the shots we give children. And, if y'all are not aware, from the 80s until 2000, the number of vaccines we give children has greatly increased. And the number of times you give these kids is greatly increased. And so has the autism and all these other things. And so they did a control study using the Amish and several others that don't do that kind of stuff.
Right.
Take a guess which group didn't have any of the problems, and who's better off?
The Amish.
No shots are way better off than any shots, no matter the number.
Well, the Amish people are more hardworking than most folks are. You know, they do a lot of farming and stuff like that. So I think they're overall a lot healthier.
Imagine that. So you're trying to say that if you get your hands in the dirt and develop natural immunities and stuff that are already here on this planet, you don't need all that crazy stuff. Is that what
Hmm.
you're saying? That's what I'm saying.
That I've always believed that kids that get out and eat dirt when they're playing are a lot more healthier than kids that stay in the house all the time. So there you go. That's what I think.
Anissa said
Uh,
Anissa said that no one likes dry cake, but Anissa, at our age, does it matter what the cake is? Yeah. They make they make they make things that moisturize cake. So there you go. If we didn't if we didn't
so,
if we didn't blast this show, then there you go.
but I have friends that have had polio, and I'm like, man, I'm glad I had a shot when I was little.
Yeah.
They don't even give that one anymore, do they? I don't think they give that one anymore.
Well, they wiped it out worldwide pretty much. So,
That's the one we've got the little thing on the scar on our shoulder, right?
right.
Yeah, I
That
think
that and smallpox, smallpox wiped out half of Europe.
Do y'all
Once.
remember
I'm like, I kind of glad I got a smallpox shot.
but it's all the other ones that they've added to it. It's not the older ones are, they've been given enough time. We understand, but there's also a theory out there too with these, and it makes a lot of sense that as our generations were vaccinated more than others, it's it's our kids that are having the issues, not anybody. And that's it. It takes a generation to take hold of all this. Look at it. I didn't know anybody in growing up that was allergic to peanut butter.
I didn't either.
And none of that stuff. But all of our children, the Gen X's kids were all allergic to everything, and we were the first generation that was fully waxed out.
Um, I don't remember anybody in high, and I definitely don't remember any announcements. Please do not bring peanut butter because one of your classmates might be allergic.
Hey, just wait. It's on Friday. I'm gonna be on the John and Jenna show. Here takes over.
Sweet.
I'm gonna have to be nice over there. I can't get his channel blasted.
Please.
You can insinuate things though, so you know how to do that part.
I'm just a co-host because she's a little nervous about doing it by herself, and it's hard to do it by yourself, especially if you're not used to it. So
Who was that? I'm sorry.
Jenna, John's leaving this morning to go on a golfing thing he does every year where they do a tournament. They play a couple rounds of practice and then they play a couple rounds of tournament.
Okay.
I don't think he comes home till Saturday night or Sunday.
Play nice.
Somebody, Anissa, make sure you watch that one. You need to be the moist counter. So every time, however many times we say moist, you can you keep track of it for us.
Yeah. He'll play nice with her though. He not with so much with me and
Heck no,
Todd and
I'll be nice over there. On my own channel, not so much.
have you heard from is John still on his cruise?
They were gone for a month.
Were they?
Yeah, you posted something the other day. He's talking about that he was having a piano mood or something crazy.
Yeah. I saw that.
Yeah, so but it was a fun weekend. Met a lot of people. I didn't meet everybody because they didn't come say hello to me. So damn it.
They were intimidated.
If I knew somebody, I talked to him. But other than that, I'm out. But some of the usual suspects. My buddy Larry, he's known in the chat as Larry Way Out was there. Talked to him a lot Saturday night. And Ken, I got the updated picture for Ken. So it scared off all the ghosts in the hotel room when it was laying there.
Okay. Y'all mentioned Ghost and not Ghost. You mentioned Ghost. You mentioned golf, and it just dawned on me that and I had to research it. Next weekend is the Wells Fargo hunting, 6th through the 12th. So that just totally screws up traffic.
Yeah, it was
Uh,
Larry Way Out. Larry Way Out one is his name in the chat. Let's see who else was. There were two of the fake beards on YouTube there, and I told them that they were fake beards. So
All right.
Beard King was there, Beard King Picker. He's actually a pretty interesting cat, so I approved him to be a beard person. And then the other guy I'd never even seen before, but he had a nice beard.
Pokey
He
Tuber.
was no, it was Beard Thrift Find. He's one of the newer ones, but I liked him actually. He was a pretty good dude, so I deem both of those guys as legitimate to carry the moniker of Beard.
Yeah, Major looks like he could grow a hella beard. I mean, he looks like one of those guys who shaves in the morning and has a shadow by noon.
Man, I do keep. I have a CPAP, so I have to keep around my face and stuff. And Beard King Picker said, "The hell with that." It looks like a whole muskrat is just taking over his face.
Back when I was in high school, way back yonder in the dark ages, no guys had beards. If they were mustaches, they were, they the coach would or the teachers would say, here's a Kleenex. Go wash off your top lip type stuff. And now these boys have full mustaches and beards, and
It's because of the vaccines.
it's because of the daggum crap in the foods. It's got to be. I mean, the hormones and stuff like that, and the beef and 1852. No, 1852 people. Everybody had. If you were over the age of 13, you started growing a beard and mustache and the sideburns and all that kind of stuff. That's what you need, Scott. You need to grow you some big old bushy sideburns like Elvis had.
Yeah, I hate that stuff. Yeah, so a lot
Yeah,
of fun. He's planning on doing it again next year. He needs just a touch of organization. I know it's the first time, so he'll learn a lot. But just a touch of organization. It was a great event. The best thing about those events is really spending time and talking to others and learning and sharing your knowledge and spending time with people that get it. So it was that part of it was absolutely outstanding.
Well, you were mentioning the plushes. The girl from Texas that doesn't do shows anymore,
Deb,
Deb. She used to sell a lot of plushes, and she used to always look for. It was one type of plush she really looked for because they always went for big money.
Dan, if I know.
I don't do plushes. You know. I mean,
I'll pick up big ones. Like I picked up a Yoda at the yard sale, baby Yoda. He was like this big for $1. I thought it's already at the auction. Um, if they're big ones or their names or whatever, but yeah,
was that the brand Anissa and Julie
Dan, if I know.
Jellycat?
We talking about Smelly Cat from Friends. Smelly Cat.
what
That
are
market is
they
cool.
feeding you?
Beanie Baby plushes sell great.
Man, I laughed at y'all all throughout the last 10 years when they sit there and everybody makes fun of them. I'm like, I've sold $100,000 of Beanie Babies. Y'all are idiots. I don't sell them anymore, but I did because I can't get the Rite Aid. Bunch of assholes.
I
Well,
don't.
you had them new in the box or new in the package.
Yeah, Alvin and the Chipmunks, man, were they awesome? And then they also made the little Beanie Baby slippers that only, I think Rite Aid was one of the few places that carried them when they first came out. And when you go around buying them at 90% off, you're paying uh, what 99 cents for those things, and
Right.
we were selling a lot of them for $25 a pair. I mean, I would go in and just take the whole rack. It was insane how many we had. The Beanie Boos still sell the ones with the big eyes, but they're
Right.
about the only ones.
You did a video about that.
Because I can't get the Walgreens. I can't get the Rite Aid.
Well, they're closing out the rest of the Rite Aids, aren't they?
Major win. Am I in Kentucky? I'm gonna hold this just a little longer for you.
He's an Alabama person via North Carolina.
He's a wildcat for sure. Mm-hmm.
I disown North Carolina. I'm strictly an Alabama person.
If you ever make it to St. Thomas, there's a Walgreens.
Oh, that was the other thing. I'm sitting there and I get a text from my brother, and then he calls me or some other way around, and he's like, your mom is in the hospital. I'm like, what do you mean she's in the hospital? So we had to find. Okay, so this is how it is. I'm the oldest son, and I spent 12 years living across the street from mother. Always, my brother carried on as a child and whatever with my. I have never once wavered. I have to find out from my brother, who found out from the girlfriend who was in Asheville, because mother won't tell us that she got bit by a brown lacus and is in the hospital because her finger is black as pitch.
Dang.
Yeah. But that was another good one. I'm like, I was supposed to call her last night. Ooh.
Does she still live in North Carolina? Or is she in Alabama now?
Yeah,
Your
she lives in Wilmington.
I thought she lived in Wilmington.
She bought a house in 1988, I think. Back in the 80s, what's the 80s are now? What, almost 40 years ago? Shit.
Anyway, when I got off the ship and was walking into St. Thomas, up on the corner is a Walgreens, and I thought of you, Scott. They're everywhere. They're everywhere.
I've been in a couple of them. They serve a dual purpose. Not only do they have good stuff, but they also have clean bathrooms. So there you go. That's the most important thing. When I was out on the road, stuck in Bogalusa and then down through, you got to know how far it is to the next Walgreens in case that lunch doesn't sit with you. You need to slide on into a bathroom that you can count on. There you go.
Yeah, they still don't have Buc-ee's everywhere. So.
Yeah.
Good to have Walgreens.
I didn't even pass a Buc-ee's through all that travel. There was one outside of Mobile, but I went underneath it and around. Waiting for palm trees to arrive. Popeyes does not have clean, but I take blood pressure medicine though, so I might have. Okay, so there's a new leader in bathrooms in the South, and so here's something I have figured out. If you live in the South, you know about Jack's Hamburgers. There's a Jack's restaurant everywhere down here. They have really built a lot of them over the last 5 or 6 years. But the way Jack's are like some of these old-fashioned restaurants used to be, you can go in through the door on the side of the parking lot, hit the bathrooms, and then leave when nobody can even see you. It's awesome.
Yeah.
So whether you want to actually go get a hamburger, and I generally, at least once a trip, try to, at least because I'm gonna use Jack's bathroom 3 or 4 times, maybe I'll buy a sandwich somewhere. But yeah, Jack's. That's a good one if you need a bathroom and just run in and run out and you can't find a gas station.
Yeah, Whataburger's good like that.
Yeah, Waffle House is making a comeback.
Did Waffle House ever go anywhere?
I don't
Well, they
think so.
kind of got kind of disgusting, but the new CEO is really like the one near our house. They are totally revamping the interior of it.
I thought that was just part of the charm and the experience.
Oh, the charm and the experience. Roberta and I and our friends Chris and Sandy we were headed to the airport to go to Australia, and we couldn't find anything open at 6 o'clock in the morning, so we went into the Waffle House. And I mean, I've always liked Waffle House's big breakfast. How can you mess up scrambled eggs and bacon and toast? But
A damn,
anyway,
but the damn Grand Slam where you get waffles and bacon and
yeah.
eggs, hash browns.
The one of the waitresses in the fry cook got into a fight. So we were finished eating. I said, "Let's pay the bill and get out of here."
Okay, so here it is. We're at the Holiday Inn Express in Goodlettsville, Tennessee. The hotel's about 4 years old. It's really nice. I come down the elevator Saturday afternoon, and they were there was a group of a certain race that were having a baby shower, and the music was so loud it sounded like a disco in there. So you can take your pick. I come off the elevator, and they are now fighting, and I'm like, "Why is my gun still up?" I'm like, I turn around and get right back on. I walk right into the middle of that with I mean, she's got a belly out to here, and she's fighting somebody else, and the hotel staff's trying to hold some of them back and trying to throw them all out at the same time. It's just that was insane.
It's
Never for a minute, never let up. I didn't. You could not catch me without the pea shooter for the rest of the time we were there.
Y'all talk about greasy spoons if you want to, but some of the greasy spoons have the better food than anything. There is a there is last time I went to my brother's house, I noticed this place was closed, but it was an old gas station, convenience store. You know, it supplied the community with light groceries and things like that. But they had some of the best damn hamburgers you ever put in your mouth. And anytime I was going to Chester back in the day, I would have to stop in there at lunchtime and get me a hamburger. But they were greasy, but damn, they were good. But now all that grease is bad for you.
Yeah, right.
So you got to go to one of the sterile burger places like McDonald's, Burger King, Whataburger, any of those places. You got to have some grease in there to make them better.
So the Monels place, you know what the most disappointing thing was? Monels had fried chicken and meatloaf. I don't eat anybody's meatloaf but Joni's, so I didn't try the meatloaf. They had ribs that were pretty good, but they had corn pudding. They had green beans that were I skipped them, but mashed potatoes and gravy were good. Cornbread was decent, but when you add biscuits were decent, but the homemade peach preserves were out of this world. And but then they bring out for dessert banana pudding. How do you go through all the trouble to have wonderful chicken and everything else, and then have the nastiest, tastes worse than schoolroom lunch banana pudding ever? I'm like, this. I one bite. I'm like, is this really this bad? And I took another bite. I'm like, oh my god, it looks so good to be so disgusting. What the hell?
You know, like I'm googling corn pudding right as we speak because I don't know what kind of animal that is. Grand
Yeah.
preheat. Okay, butter, whole kernel corn, a can of cream corn, packaged cornbread mix, sour cream.
You never had cornbread pudding?
Never.
God, that's some good stuff.
Nah. It looks like mac and cheese only with corn instead of macaroni.
Major Win, we don't act like we're reselling chats in the morning. We're just whatever's happening. What
You know, so how much can you talk about reselling?
there's so many people there, all these with new people with channels and this and that. I'm like, I ain't never heard of any of y'all because I don't watch resellers. Very few do I watch because you can only. Well, first off, the newer people. I'm gonna tell you this: they have an influence over some others newer people, and they're most of the time they are wrong and giving out bad information. That just pisses me off. So I don't watch them. But also, man, I'm out here 8-10 hours a day, or I'm sourcing, or I'm doing whatever. And I make videos every now and then. I'll go live, but I'll make a video every now. I'm telling you, I don't want to watch. I gotta have some other interest. I need to watch somebody living on a sailboat or in a van by the river or something.
Yeah.
I need to watch car crashes, something. Bigfoot. I'm gonna watch some Bigfoot today.
And honestly, if I need to know something, I message either Todd or Scott or Bridget, people that I know that I can count on what they tell me is going to be truthful. I go directly to a good source.
I mean, so the one thing I talk about it, we recorded the podcast, the Triple P podcast, me podcast, and it's so important to keep positive. This is a hard thing we do. It's hard to do full time. It's hard to stay focused. And if you're not positive, it's hard to treat customers right. It's hard to stay motivated. It's hard to keep yourself going. And so you got to protect who you listen to, because that anger, and if you're constantly absorbed in negativity, man, you will treat others terrible. I promise you that you make your life a whole lot harder by exposing yourself, and not that kind of exposure, Kent, damn it. Exposing yourself to such negativity because you don't think it affects you, but it affects you, and how all these people bitching about returns because they are so fucking broke that one return is going to crash their whole business.
You better get a job.
I don't think most people understand that most resellers are so broke that it's terrible.
But any person that's in business for themselves is going to have a return. Now, it might not be a return as in we get returns, but they're going to have some kind of aspect of their business that's what it is, and they've got to deal with it. I mean,
yeah, it's I know a lot of people mean well, and there's some people that give a lot of good information out there, but you notice I don't start my videos off by saying that every morning I won't tell you I've sold over $5 million on Amazon to prove to you anything. If you listen to me and verify what I say is true, I don't have to tell you that I was the number one seller in this for this long. Nobody gives a shit.
First of all, if you're selling $5 million worth of Amazon every day, if you started off your show saying, I sold $5 million worth on Amazon yesterday, I would be on there going, liar, liar, pants on fire. Because if you're selling that kind of stuff, after about 2 days, you would not be reselling anymore.
Now, since I started on 2015, I've sold over $5 million. But then, what does that matter? Hell, John's going to sell $5 million this year.
Yeah. Hell, he'll probably sell it in a couple of months the way he does it.
It's just, I'd just rather watch somebody on a sailboat or.
I do too. I've been watching this guy building a hydroelectric plant for his farm. I mean, I know that's just as boring as hell to some people, but I think it's interesting. But then again, instead of playing a first-person shooter, I'm playing a farm simulator. So,
This is a good podcast to listen to. This one coming up, we really get into the reason why that you don't have sales and what you can do to do to fix some of these things. So this is actually was pretty interesting. It started off kind of crazy, and then we got into, and that's the strength of that one. We just start talking and then turn the recorder on. There's no real I didn't have 5.1 million in costs. Although major win, I do know someone who a couple of years ago he's still reselling, and he's recovered from it. He always wanted to sell $1 million in 1 year on Amazon, and he lost money doing it.
Who was that?
Jameson Philippi.
Yeah, you're right there, Major Win. 5 million gross doesn't mean anything when you have 5.1 million costs. And Scott, let me clarify something. When I was saying something about 5 million in sales, I thought you meant that you had 5 million in sales yesterday, not
No,
like last
no,
year.
no, no.
I wanted to make sure I clarified that, because I was like, man, did he take the? He might have he might have taken that wrong. He might have taken that wrong. Uh, but you remember the guy, maybe the same person that came into Amazon, and he like mortgaged the house and had credit card debt and all this kind of stuff, and he ended up having to go back to work, going back to corporate. Do you remember who I'm talking about?
Yeah, he sold like trailers or something.
I don't know what he did, but he came in it and lost his ass.
Anissa can tell us who he was. He was going to be internet famous. What was his name?
Yeah,
Something. He had a 3 in his name. Something.
Anissa.
Come on, Anissa. You ain't cleaning yet. Don't bail on us now.
Mm.
I can't think of the guy's name, but yeah, that was like 2017 or 18. He was going to be the next great reseller, and I put all the stuff on credit cards and everything else, and then tucked his tail and ran back to work.
Yeah, he had to go back. I mean, he was like everywhere on all the YouTube channels, shows. He was, and then all of a sudden, he was going back to work corporate.
I can see the image of him in my head, but I can't think of his name.
Yeah, he was kind of a tall, dark-haired guy. He was from California.
But he moved, I think, like to Arkansas or somewhere.
All right, it's 5:05. I mean 10:05. It's 5:05. It's 10:05. I gotta go.
Yeah, not Josh Galt. Josh
No, not
Galt.
Josh Galt.
He's in Niagara. He's still reselling full time. That's him. RB3.
That's him.
That's him. That's him.
I
knew there was a number in there. It was RB3. That was him.
He sounds like a droid off of Star Wars. Anyway, I gotta go. It's 10:05. And
an old guy remembered. What the hell? You go, Larry.
Yeah, I know. Oh, he was Googling like hell over there. Okay, Major Win. So you're lovely. So y'all going to be doing your show on at 10 o'clock, correct? Starting tomorrow.
What the hell is this specific time? How are we supposed to remember that? What the hell? I'm in the South. I can't convert time zones.
We use everything Easter. I do everything Easter Standard Time. Y'all just have to work. Y'all do the math.
Hey, Glenn. Hate that you couldn't make it, man. I miss you, buddy. I hope your mom is doing better.
Mm-hmm.
Don't worry. I drank enough for both of us.
So anyway.
After the first night, I quit drinking. I'm like, you know what? I'm done drinking for at least the next few months. I'm tired of it.
Has Joni been with you on an excursion since the Las Vegas thing?
She was there this weekend.
I know that, but I'm talking about since between Las Vegas and this weekend.
It was another one of those when I got back to the room. Well, first off, I left the bottle in the room. I took like 2 big cups down there. I had like half the bottle. And I wanted more, and Jennifer had ran out of hers because she gave most of hers away. She had a bottle of Crown Apple. And I get up to the room and realize in my drunk state that I didn't even have a room key. So I had to wake her ass up. She was mad as hell about that. And then I fucking hate drunk Scott.
You just had a hell of a time about keys this past weekend, didn't you? No key for your trunk, no key for your room. So anyway, okay.
I didn't know it.
Are you going to be doing the show tomorrow? Or are you going to be on the road?
I'll be doing it.
Okay, y'all go over to Scott's show in the morning. And let me back up here to major wins Tuesdays through Thursdays at 7 PST time. Okay.
I'll try to be done by then.
Yeah, he gets long winded. And
Yeah.
that train leaves the track at about 90 miles an hour sometimes. Anyway, thank y'all for showing up this morning. Hope you might have learned something or learned something not to do something. Anyway, have a great day. See you on
Don't,
Thursday or
don't forget,
tomorrow over
don't
on
forget your
Scott's
key.
channel.
Don't forget your key. That's what you learn.
Don't forget your key. That's right. Bye, guys.